Okay, let me ask the crowd. More of a booze crowd or more of a weed crowd? Make noise if you're a weed crowd. Make noise if you're a booze. Oh. When was your last therapy session, sir? Tuesday? Alright, just making sure your priorities are straight. Because if you're spending this much on booze, you better be spending it on some help too. Isn't this a fun experience? Do you guys think you're at a comedy show or a TED Talk, eh? Yeah, I know, right? I've had this really, I don't know, something happened to me, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I promise you, I used to try so much harder. But it turns out most of the audiences I perform for are just depressed. And and all they want is for somebody to be like, aren't pencils pencils is shit! And then we all go home after the show, and then we scroll on our phones until we pass out. And then we wake up and have a breakfast and go to work, and we gossip, right? Right? Isn't it weird what happened to life? I sound like an 80-year-old when I say this, but like, I swear to you, life was better without internet and cell phones, no? It's right! Right! And everybody says it, but like, we're all gonna go home and scroll. Right? Hey, it's about honesty tonight, alright? I'm not above you guys. I mean, I'm literally above you, but I'm not above you. You know, I'm gonna go home and scroll. What do you guys, oh, sick. Took a second for me to catch on. That's the weed, see?
When you know the Scooby-Doo. What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, Black Zeus. Welcome to another regular episode of Black Zeus, the podcast. I got shorts on so I can see my knees in the camera monitor. This is episode 17 of season 4. I am all over the place, and in the corner, making his return to the ring after a heavy crypto stock loss, rolled right back into it with a multi-trillion-dollar IPO, lost it somehow, so fell into super depression, alcoholism, went to an 8-week long retreat where he got clean just for someone to give him $500 to get back on his feet and him to buy Dogecoin. But he's here for you right now, live from a jail cell, because he sold the Dogecoin on the black market via Skype, because they won't let him use Zoom because it's Chinese technology. Give it up for the return of Dante.
What's going on?
That's sick. That was a good inside joke. Nobody will know what's going on other than these two guys might be as high as the sky. Are they right? No one knows. Yes. What's going on, bro? How you living?
I'm living well, blessed and highly favored, you know.
Let me get you more in frame here.
Oh.
Let me see if I can fix you. No, whoa. Yeah, wait.
Oh.
This is live editing on live.
Hey.
It's not even editing. It's just live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live. Pre-recorded, live. This is a mixture. What's Zeus on today? Let's take a guess. I didn't tell. Oh, did I tell you what I did?
A little bit.
All right. A little bit. Well, then all the fun is gone from this game for me. He already knows that I just had some edibles today, just regular edibles, and then shatter infused joint. It was a store-bought pre-roll. I like the pre-rolls I'm not normally fans of, but the guy at the store is like, the manager swears by this. If I go for a pre-roll, I'm going for something infused because typically, like, store like the cannabis at the cannabis store is you fuck with the legal cannabis. Does it fuck with you? Does it get you high?
Yeah, like depending on the
do
product.
those 10 milligram drinks do anything?
No.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Why are we still at the point where you're treating us like babies? Only sell like this isn't like this is not in America.
Yeah.
If there is an American listening to this right now, they're laughing. They're like, they only sell 10. I don't even think this is all of Canada.
I think it is.
No, because Alberta is lawless with it, bro. They like,
Really?
yeah, they have their own. Like, I'm pretty sure it runs like independent stores out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or independent LPs, and
Yeah.
not necessarily all out of. In Ontario, the way it works is we have the OCS, Ontario Cannabis Store.
Yes.
And so, like, every grower, every legal grower, like, funnels through the government essentially.
Yeah.
Which is how they that's a monopoly, bro.
Yeah, because it's the only store that these stores can buy.
Correct. And that's how liquor and booze operate in Ontario also.
I don't know if that is because
In Ontario,
yeah, you're
nigga.
right, yeah.
You ain't gonna catch me in no technical. You thought I said Canada.
No, I don't
Montreal, you're gonna say?
Know
You
I don't know about the alcohol stuff. I thought it was you can still buy like American stuff or whatever. But
What does that mean? Like American alcohol?
Yeah, but
No, I just mean that, like, what I just described for weed is the monopoly the government has had on alcohol forever.
Oh, okay.
It's like in Ontario, at least.
Okay.
There's 2 stores, and this is literally how much creativity our tax dollars buy us. The store that you get beer from is called the Beer Store. Good night, everybody. It's what the fuck, bro? And you know what sucks? Like, that store's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think maybe it started in the 80s, 70s. I don't know how long it's been there, but I'm pretty sure that's how the government's been running booze.
Probably.
How much? Like, I want to know at the time, and given inflation and shit, given today's money, how much money they spent in like today's time to create that title. It was probably like a big deal. The government finally decides on the Beer Store. And it was like all the other names. It's like fucking weird. It's like fucking Uncle Al's fucking Beer Emporium and Uncle Trudeau's fucking liquor boutique. I would kind of go to the liquor boutique, honestly, bro.
Yeah, what
that
kind of
sounds
products would
classy
they
as
have?
shit. What?
What kind of products? Like what kind of stuff would you get at liquor
Beer.
boutique? But
Oh,
like,
I guess liquor.
but it's a boutique, so it can't just be beer.
Yeah, but yeah. Fair enough. Store. You know what? Maybe the taxpayer dollars went to something really good. Because it was probably a bunch of people being like, look, people are going to be pissed if we just sit in this room for weeks. Because that's the deadline. They probably gave them like weeks to like, look, we need a store name and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the end of the day, they came up with Beer Store, but they really had to sell it. Like, no, wait, hear us out. We had the liquor boutique. It's like, that's great. Why don't you go with that? It's like, but then it's a boutique. It's like, you're trying to sell like schlub juice for Joe Schlub. You're trying to sell blue collar juice to the fine, regular blue collar folks.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go to no boutique.
No.
That's too up with it. You trying to turn me beer out of the boutique, you uppity bitch. I go to the beer store. And what do you know what the LCBO stands for? Because the beer store does not sell liquor. The beer store sells beer and beer adjacent products. The LCBO sells liquor and beer for some reason. I don't know, but it's all government run. I'm going. Wait, let me take a guess. I'm guessing it's something generic. You just looked it up.
Yeah.
Liquor. Is it? That is the word.
Yeah.
LCBO. Liquor. Oh. Liquor. Something. B.O. LCBO. I feel like I knew this at some point. Well, first of all, people call it Lickbo.
Yeah.
So that's not real, though. That's just what the youth. I'm so old, bro.
Do you want me to tell you what it stands for?
Give me like 30 more seconds of struggle. LCBO. So it's liquor. CBO. I'm going to feel dumb when you say it, aren't I?
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Yeah? Liquor connoisseur. I'm out. I'm so out.
No, so I'll pull it up for you. Oh, where did it go?
Yo. But Liquor Control Board of Ontario. Come on, bro. I do feel kind of dumb. I just didn't think it would be so legal.
Yeah.
That sounds so legal. It's the liquor control. I sound like I'm on liquor. It's the hey. It's the liquor control board of Ontario. Fuck you, shit. I'm pretty good at that, no?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It's the hiccups that make it so much more authentic.
Yeah.
It's almost like I lived in Hamilton, Ontario for a long time. And you just walk the streets, hey. This is straight up what happened to me one time. Hey, dude, you're a nigger. You're a nigger. You know what happened? Is I called that guy a nigger back. I'm like, you're a nigger, bro. And he was like, that's the day that I realized white people, like racist white people that are calling you nigger, they don't like to be called nigger.
Yeah.
Turns out it hurts them.
I was gonna ask.
Turns out it hurts them. That's hey, that's not a word for me. That's a word for you. You goddamn nigger. You goddamn nigger. Hey, sir, you're a nigger too. Hey, how do you mean them words hurt? Talking about them words hurt. Fucking Skeeter. Skeeter, now we got to pull off a shank. We got to shank us a Negro. Just do the rest of the podcast like this. So there, Dante, what you been up to since you've been away? What do you got? Autism, nigga? What the fuck is going on right now?
But
what,
it's funny that you're doing this voice because there's been a lot going on in the internet space. I don't even want to go into it because it's so like nonsensical. But
yeah,
there was this guy like he was like Sudanese, right?
Okay.
He goes on like this whole unhinged like rant.
Yeah.
Puts on the hood, starts doing the voice and everything, just all the slurs, bro. You just started going off, bro. Yeah.
So that's what you've been up to since you've been away?
Yep. It wasn't me. I'm just saying, like, some other dude online, like this guy on a live stream, like, just.
That's wild.
Wildin'.
Yo, here's one thing that you've been up to. I guess this is either a positive or negative influence I've had in your life. Mm-hmm. You went and got Zelda for the Switch.
Yeah.
You got the new Zelda for the Switch. I'm looking at the hour count in my save file now and kind of having a little bit of regret. Not in terms of I haven't been enjoying it.
Yeah.
And also not in terms of I don't think I've missed anything. Because I'm 95% of the time I played it in wind down time.
Okay.
When I've had a whole day.
Yeah.
And I've been in the sun or I've done stuff. So it's just there's other stuff I could be doing with that time. Mm-hmm. Like it's wind down time, but it's like I don't necessarily feel like I'm in a wind down part of my life.
Yeah.
So it's like conflicting with not that but I also then have to remind myself it's like, yo, wind down, nigga. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like a whole range. I'm trapped in a glass case of emotion. It's a lot. Do you feel like that?
It's a lot for me because like I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know any of these
characters. Yeah, you never played Breath of the Wild.
I did the first section and I stopped playing it. So like I never played
the first game.
Yeah, of Breath of the Wild. But even this one, like I was saying before we started, like there's so much. I'm still learning the mechanic of like, okay, well, fight this guy for 3 hits with this one weapon and finish him off with this other weapon so you don't lose the durability and like There's just so much to learn.
It's a lot.
It's so much.
And actually, it's even more overwhelming. Like if I didn't have a complete understanding of the core mechanics of this game,
yeah.
All the shit that they added on top of that, like
Yeah,
all
like the
your
Ultra Hand.
abilities, Ultra Hand
So
and
much.
recall and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But so, and then we were talking about this. I'm sorry if you don't like games. Okay, this is a comedy podcast. I'm not sorry. I don't give a shit. We'll talk about it for like a couple minutes here. But I've gotten to this point where my age mentally is far beyond the visuals of the game, but the mechanics of the game are so rock solid. But I'm like, so what I'm trying to say is I'm playing a really fun playing game that looks like it's a kid's show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the analogy that I gave you earlier is like eating a really delicious cake that looks like shit, or it's like eating a really delicious cake that looks like it's for like a 10-year-old's birthday party. And I'm 30. I don't belong at a 10-year-old's birthday party. Like, so it's like, yo, this is the fucking sickest birthday party.
Yeah.
And then parents are looking at me like, where's your kids? I'm like, I'm not here for them, man. Look what you can do with your hand, dude. It's like I'm supposed to be an adult, right? And not play Zelda.
Yeah.
But the game is fun as fuck, bro. The mechanics are really enjoyable. The map is fun to explore. I've just scratched the surface on the underground stuff, but now I feel like I'm finally like really filling in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, my career is not tanking or anything. I have that balance.
Nice.
But still, I'll show you I'm you know, after last week's episode of me yelling at people for screen time. Now, to be fair, I'm not on my phone scrolling my life away.
Mm-hmm.
At least it is my wind down time.
Yeah.
I've lived a purposeful day.
You're doing this in replace of scrolling.
Correct, which is what I've always done. Really,
Yeah.
I grew up with video games and all shit,
Yeah.
which is what everybody's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like after you're done playing outside, you go inside and then fucking play video games or do whatever. You know,
Yeah.
hang out with your siblings or your family.
Yep.
Well, you used to, but now your phone is your family. You know, your phone is your siblings.
Yeah.
Literally, you're talking to your siblings through your phone. Sometimes the family's in the same house talking to each other through the phone.
Yep.
That's creepy.
It is.
That's creepy. Also, don't leave ever again. Don't make sure your family doesn't have stuff planned on. This is more important than that, man. It's not. I'm happy you had stuff to do. It's just when you're not here, I don't have any grounding. It's just a live wire. And maybe I'll bully you a little less because I appreciate you just that much more. Go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
Namaste. Let's get into the actual podcast shit this week. That's a fun little intro for the week. Welcome back, my guy. Let's do some show recaps. We still haven't brought in the sound machine. I bet you have it, don't you?
I do.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This has literally been every week. You have it? Yeah. All right. Next week. Yep. All right. And then we get high. We should do a checklist for before we get high. Like for right when we meet up, like we do a checklist for the show itself.
Yeah.
Why not for our life?
I think about this all the time. Why don't I just have a daily life checklist? Do you know what I mean? Like
That's because I feel like that's a lot.
it's too much.
You're trying to control the chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos will naturally find its balance, you know?
Yes.
Like it will naturally smoothen out.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. I'm
Yes.
talking to a chaos being
Yes,
here.
this is why I don't have a checklist.
Correct. Like and honestly, I think like your brain, your subconscious, it knows, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So like even though rhythmically you might be doing the same thing daily, you know, like you brush your teeth, you this and that and stuff.
Yep.
You always are brushing like the most important stuff kind of always gets done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Now, if you really have memory problems, like that's another issue.
Yeah.
But if you have like, you know, a healthy functioning fucking brain,
Yeah.
and for me, obviously I can't speak to everybody, but I find that usually the most important shit. But I'm also taking a lot of lion's mane lately too, so I'm like boosting my memory, you know. And I'm fucking with cordyceps. Fuck with, adaptogenics, mushrooms. They're brain stimulants. They're brain food. And no, I'm not just talking about magic mushrooms. I will gladly push mushrooms on people that aren't psychedelic. Because wow, the benefit is crazy. If you go to the gym and you take pre-workout, like a friend of mine put me onto these cordyceps, bro. Why even take pre-workout? The level of focus that I have when you just like take a little bit of the cordyceps mushroom, bro, it's insane, and it doesn't feel like dirty, like because it's not a high or anything. It's like it feels like limitless almost to a degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas that but even that is a myth. Like you use your whole fucking brain. It's just you're not using it all at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like you only access 10% of your brain. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Your whole brain is active. What are you talking about, bro? What a weird way to. Anyways, I'm getting. It's comedy. It's a comedy podcast. It's comedy. Do. So I did a few shows, but I can only remember one because I needed to dial it back just a little now. Didn't do it in time. I went so scattered and off the rails. I'm like, yeah, I just did a show yesterday. That's what I can remember.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that show. Shout outs to Different Nights. If you are in the GTA, if you're in Southern Ontario, this guy's actually got shows all over Ontario. Different Nights on social media. DFRNTNGHTS. I'm pretty sure.
Is it just NGHTS?
It might be NIGHTS. It's Different Nights. Go to me, okay? Go to AKA Black Zeus and just look at literally they're tagged in there's a bunch of Different Nights posters listed on my page. But either way, bro, if I'm on the show or not, go to those shows. Yeah, shout outs to Izzy, bro. That guy, fire shows. Had a great time. And I think this was the third set of mine in this. Bro, so I said this before on the podcast already. It's been like half a year since my comedy special, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is done now. I know I mentioned it. It'll probably be coming out at the end of summer. That's my goal. Because again, like I mentioned before, go out and have a summer. I'm not gonna release shit and then try and keep you guys indoors. Why would I even try and compete with the sun? First of all, I love the sun. If I love the sun, that means most people love the sun. And it was gone for months. And a lot of people have sadness. And the sun changes that. So go be happy, enjoy, be with people. And then we'll all come back in the fall when it's just starting to get a little cozy. We'll all get in front of a TV or monitor together. And we'll watch a bunch of really fun shit. Which also gives me and Dante and other friends a lot more time to just not just make sure that that's really enjoyable stuff for you guys, but there's a ton of it. Because everything is, I have to release, it is the algorithm. I have to release Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have to release every day. My life has been released. I release my life to the algorithm. I will release every day so that I become successful in the digital age. I am not a dinosaur. Doody. This is Robot Zeus. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cringe was that? And then how cringe was me saying cringe?
I give it a 2.
You're a bitch, bro. I love it. That's hilarious. Edibles. And what I'm saying is, to get back on track, I was showing Dante the set earlier. I might even take out a clip from the set and put it at the beginning. Now that I said it on the podcast, I will take out a clip of the set and put it at the beginning of this podcast, so you guys know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I've hit this point where, like, me and the audience, there's such a synergy between me and my audiences. There's a lot of honesty, a lot of fun, but then I'm just like, I'm not even necessarily going up with a full set list anymore. And this is what I was describing to Dante earlier, but I have so many jokes, and then I have so many new jokes in the works and stuff. But I think the challenge has now become for me, okay, I can go up on stage with a curated set list and be like, I'm going to work through this and this and this and this. And then I stop doing that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up with half of a structured set list and then also have a bunch of jokes that I'm working on. And so it's more freeform. Now it's just like, bro, I don't even need to really separate the thought. I don't need to make time to be like, what am I going to do? I've literally been walking into high pressure situations, like starting with the Just for Laughs showcase. Because I'm just trusting myself more, bro. I'm 12 years in, nigga. And the reactions that I'm getting and the opportunities that have been popping up for me and the, like, bro, I just, like, my level of honesty, I know exactly where I'm at and what's around the corner. Like, I'm just trusting myself more to the point where it's like, bro, just go up and do what I know I'm capable of. And that is literally limitless. What I know I'm capable of is limitless. So every time I'm going up, it's like, I don't think any one audience within the last 3 years, literally 3 years, bro. And that's me being fucking, you know what? I'll even scale it back. I'll say a year and a half, because really, it's flipped. Like a switch has been flipped in the last year and a half, to where I don't think any one audience I've performed for has had the same experience, but I've told the same jokes and I've gotten like belly laughs to deep level thinking to quiet awkwardness to the whole range of human experience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nigga, I'm literally becoming a master at this shit. And again, this isn't no ego stroke, bro. Like, if I was shit, I was shit. But I'm not. So I like, why even talk that way? I'm gonna be modest for who? For you, the internet? Call me shit in the comments. I don't give a shit, nigga. What are you doing? So yeah, that's show recaps. Let's get back into the groove of the show with a weekly segment we do here called Poll Results. If you are new to the podcast, first of all, welcome. If you are recurring, welcome back, beautiful people. It is time for Poll Results every Monday on my Instagram social media feed. I am AKA Black Zeus, AKA BLACKZEUS. If you're American, ZEUS. You see what I did there, nigga? You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, ZZ.
Yep.
Because we're the same, but we're different. Anyways, every Monday, I post an interactive poll question. I leave it up for the entire day. And then Wednesday, me and Dante discuss the results. And this week's poll question was, if you listened to last week's episode, which, to be honest, not that many people did. And I'm kind of okay with it. Because literally the episode before, I'm like, nigga, go have a summer and come back whenever you feel like it. Then literally the next week, less people show up. I'm not even mad, bro. And most people on a social media platform would be like, oh my fucking God, my career is that aha. I was talking to a comedian about this at my show yesterday, Joey Harlem. Shout out to Joey. But it's like, a podcast is nothing to me, bro. I've been doing comedy for 12 years. I ate shit in front of nobody. Like, most people do not have the balls to stand on a stage and eat their balls for nobody, for like the bar back and shit and other comics for years on end until you just figure it out. Like, how the fuck am I going to be intimidated by low viewership on social media? Suck my dick, low viewership, bro. I'm the only viewership I need, nigga. As crazy as that sounds, because as long as I'm supporting myself and like putting out something I'm proud of, people will gradually come to it. And like, And it's better that they come to it like when there's not as much stuff happening in the outside world. Let's go outside world. So way to go, low viewership count, but don't forget me though. Don't let that be a thing either. That's I have a point to all this. Go live your life, but then I am a part of your life. Remember, we're family now, and you are the beautiful people. So love you, and we're here. So this week's poll question, based off of last week's episode conversation to myself, because you weren't here, I found an amazing mechanic on a Sunday. I had to get my brakes done. I went to Crappy Tire. They quoted me like a certain amount on the phone.
Okay.
And I showed up and it was like $1,200. I'm like, bro. And then I end up just going to buy the parts myself and finding a mechanic, taking a risk, and then finding like probably my new mechanic, so like $350, and that's because it was a Sunday cost. You know what I mean? Because realistically, I could have gotten for cheaper had I planned it ahead and gone out of town to my regular mechanic. But for a Sunday last minute Hail Mary, and then this guy also told me I didn't need to do my backs. He opened them up and greased them up because I have drums. I don't have so he greased them up.
You greased your brakes?
Well, like when you have drums in the back, you
I don't know.
Like
your brakes are
like there's a padding system, but like that's the front pads and calipers and shit. If some people have calipers in the back, but there's brakes and discs. Okay. And then like that's a whole mechanism within itself. Like so I have these big ass drums, and then when you open them up, there's like a whole fucking mechanism in there. Okay. And so that was kind of seizing up. Mm-hmm. So he had to grease that shit up. Oh, okay. And now butter. My car runs like butter. Yeah. And he gave me the parts back unopened. So I went back to the store that day. He saved me a ton of cash, bro. Yeah. So that led to me asking the poll question. I came up with it live, pre-recorded on the episode. But what's easier to find? An honest and good mechanic or a healthy relationship? These were the two choices. Once again, this week's poll question was, what's easier to find? An honest and good mechanic or a healthy relationship? Before we get to the results, what do you agree with? What do you align with most? Yep. And then what do you think? Did you already see the results?
I looked at it as we were putting it in.
So you know the results.
I don't remember them actually.
Okay.
But I saw them, but I don't know.
We're going on the honor system right now.
Yeah. That's why I live off of it.
But yeah, so what do you
Me personally, from what I know about mechanics, right? You added a caveat to this poll question, right? So you have an honest and good mechanic. No, I'm not a gearhead. Oh. Right? But I don't know many mechanics.
You're gearhead adjacent though. Yes. You have people in your life that are like big into cars and stuff. Yes. Does that knowledge rub off on you? Like, do you know basic car knowledge?
I would say I know more than most people.
Okay.
Right?
And you would know how to scope out a good or bad mechanic.
Well, so this is my point. I think most mechanics are just crooks. They might be a good mechanic, but they're not honest. Okay. Right, because they need that extra money, so they're like.
Well, I like that you say this. I see where you're going with this, and that is actually part of the reason why I did put honest in there.
I know,
because just to say a good mechanic versus a healthy relationship, no, an honest and good mechanic. Yeah, because I felt because that guy gave me my brakes back.
Yes, exactly.
He could have just put them on and charged me more. Yep. You know what I mean? But
yeah. So to this point, I think it's easier to find a healthy relationship than it is an honest and good mechanic. You might find, you might have a relationship with a mechanic or whatever, but they still might be like jipping people on the sides or whatever, but to find like a proper someone that could do your brakes and not overcharge you or anything. You know what I mean? Like that's
on a Sunday, bro.
On a Sunday, last minute, on a Sunday. That's the Lord's Day.
That's any given Sunday, bro. Oh, bro, this guy was Muslim. Come on. You ain't finding no Catholic Christian. Yeah. I pulled up. The garage was immaculate. It was clean, bro. I gave him a shout out.
Where's this?
Damn, is the card on the table there? No, I'm bad at this. Damn, I don't even want to say a name because it's gonna be the wrong name and someone else is gonna get the shout out. I will continue to shout this guy out. Yep. But yeah, if you're in the Hamilton area, it was in the Hamilton area. So what was I saying?
Healthy relationship.
something about it. But I agree with you 100%. What do you think most people agreed with?
The thing is, I think a lot more people think that every time they go to a mechanic, they're not getting gypped, right? So they probably think that, oh, I don't have many good relationships in real
You
life.
think they think they're not? I would think most people think they are getting gypped.
I think people don't
Naturally,
know.
when you think mechanic, you're thinking you're getting ripped off.
I don't know. I think people like don't know because I know sometimes they'll literally tell me things that I need, and then I'll ask my brother, "Is this even a real problem?" They're like, "Those two parts aren't even in part of the same car." You know what I mean? Like, they'll do shit like that to me. You know what I mean?
Bro,
So,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. They're like, "Oh, we got a sucker here."
Exactly.
That's hilarious. So I definitely agree that I think it's easier to find a healthy relationship. It was really fun to watch this poll. Like I know that they're starting to pick up traction, the poll results and stuff, because there's a lot more interaction on them now, and a lot more people are voting, which is great because now you get a greater understanding of where people like this is a newspaper poll. You know what I mean? Like this is an election.
Newspaper wishes they could do this.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, because they're always asking some random horseshit, left and right, fucking red tie, blue tie. But it went back and forth, bro. Like this one went back and forth, and then I had people DMing me.
Really?
Yeah, and I agree with like they're like I can't wait. Like I want to hear how toxic and all this shit some of the people are that say a healthy relationship is harder to find because that says more about you.
That's what I was saying.
And that's
because if you're the one that's like I can trust the mechanic, like, and you can't. The only person left for you to trust is the mechanic, bro.
And once you get older, you realize, bro, it's not that there's all these unhealthy people out there. It's just like our way of looking for relationships and shit are often unhealthy, or we're unhealthy, and then that's what we attract. So it's like to say that it's harder to find a healthy relationship, kind of more speaks to you as a person, I would imagine, and maybe like that be a starting point before you go and blame the world type deal.
Yeah,
that's how I personally feel about it, because that's how I operated when I was in my bitch state when I was younger, bro. It's like everything is like nothing is my problem. You know what I mean? I have no traumas, nigga. What even is trauma? I have no anger issues and shit when I was younger. It's like, nigga, I'm a hippie compared to the young fucking angry ass. But to be fair, like had I had some proper guidance, I'm pretty sure I would be in the UFC right now, bro.
Really?
I've told you, but like the level.
I thought you would have been WWE though.
No, because I loved once I found UFC, dude, I had fought. Like, even though I was watching wrestling as a kid, I personally was fighting in my real life.
Gotcha.
And that came from all this aggression and shit.
True.
You know, so wrestling was an outlet, but I didn't have somebody to be like, go to the gym, like take this out on that, and then train properly. Because like I went to karate, I went to taekwondo, but those are North American like they're Filipino, like and
I know what you mean.
Karate,
They
but
call
it's
them like
when you're learning
dojos.
from white dudes, like you're not really learning the actual martial arts. I think I don't want to be that general, but you know what I mean. Especially karate in the 2000s and 90s. That's like, come on, bro. It was a fad. And I made it deep-ish. I think I got like yellow. That's not deep. Brown somewhere. I got somewhere with karate.
Not brown belt for sure.
I didn't get brown belt.
Nah.
That's like close to black, isn't it?
The one right before black.
Black. Okay, I didn't get brown. No, not even.
I went
close.
there for 1 year. I was like,
no, I wasn't there for. No, karate I did for a few years. Taekwondo I think I did for one.
Okay.
Yeah, but even then I couldn't even tell you the color, like the system on Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I don't even. But I'm getting too far away from it, anyways. But like, it's all excuses, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's all excuses. Just work on yourself, and then everything kind of becomes easier. You know, because it becomes easier to spot. It's like, oh, that person's not what I'm looking for, and you stop yourself up front, which is fucking hard. When like, bro, I spent a lot of time whoring, bro, to like override that, to actually start to think about like, bro, I could be further ahead. I should be further ahead. Like all this time. I lived in Toronto for how long? And I fucked off the 30-minute mark. Are we at the 30-minute mark by chance?
38.
38. Okay. I thought you were typing that and I was trying to be all psychic and shit. But now I just derailed the the podcast.
So, anyways, the results.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's my diatribe for that. But let's take a look at the results.
Ooh,
It was close, bro.
that was really close.
Most people think it's easier to find an honest mechanic, but only by 54%. 54 versus 46%. So I'm telling you, it was back and forth. At one point, it was 50-50. It was really fun, bro, because it was the first time I had seen like a really close one,
Back
like,
and forth.
yeah, all day, just kind of shift.
Yeah.
And then somebody had messaged me and said, let's see how this ends, because it'll really speak to how many toxic people are out there. And not that everybody of the 46% is toxic or whatever, but it's like, do think about why you align with that decision. Why do you think it is harder to find a healthy relationship? Or yeah, like why do you think it's harder to find a healthy relationship?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
I think one thing, once again, if you just go to Mr. Lube, you're assuming you're going to an honest and good mechanic.
I don't like it's. I get it, but I don't know. Like I don't think it's that blanketed. You know, like
Well, Mr. Lube, Canadian Tire.
I know what you mean, but because they're just brands, bro. I think more people than not see through that now. You don't think so?
Not the everyday person.
Yeah, right.
They don't know anything about their
It's hard for
cars.
me to dispute that when you say that.
Because they just go in, they don't know
Yeah.
what's wrong. You know, they could say that you have this part, it's leaking.
That guy when I went to Crappy Tire and like I wasn't mad, but I'm like $1,200.
Yeah.
Like we had this kind of moment, and then I'm leaving. I'm like, bro, I can't pay 12.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. And I'm like, it doesn't even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm sorry, man. I got to go by the books. Like he gave me that like. It's
Just
not
get
me.
some people.
It's not me, bro. Yeah. Like, sorry, bro. I almost got you, but it's like he get that rope-a-dope 6 to 7 on the phone, and then turns into 12.
Yeah.
And then I even told him like, take the parts out. I'll go buy the parts. He's like, that's not parts, man. That's labor. I'm like, that's labor?
Yeah.
1,200?
And then they always guilt trip you too, because then they're like, oh, well, if you don't make these changes now, your car's a road hazard.
Well, what's upsetting to me is that ultimately speaks to the greediness, which isn't surprising.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like, how much is the mechanic getting? Are they getting at least half of that?
No.
Exactly. So you're telling me, but they do, like, they don't supply the tools, or maybe they do. But usually a mechanic has their own tools.
If it's their own shop, yes. So I think
No. Like even if it's, I'm pretty sure if it's a garage, like you still supply your own tool. Like maybe you're hiring, because you have your own. Like I've known mechanics. Like I have friends that are mechanics and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like
they have
their
tools.
own set.
Yeah. But if you work, if
And and at dealerships.
do they bring their
Because
own
like the
tools?
Mac tool guys and all that stuff, all those, like, you ever see the tool trucks driving around? Mac tools and all, like Sparco tools and all that stuff.
No.
I'm just giving shout outs to
Tool
like
companies.
big brand tool companies. But I see the trucks driving around all the time. They go from shop to shop.
Yeah.
And from the way it was described to me is they literally bring the tools around. They, like you buy them from the guy. Like he's a wholesaler, not even a wholesaler, but he's like you direct source.
He's a salesman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you build up your own tool set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where I was going with this, but that was all right. That went good, and then it kind of just trailed out. But that was this week's poll results, ladies and gentlemen, and we roll right along into another weekly segment. Now that Dante has returned, we can do it again. It's called pause. It's called Dante's Inferno. This segment of the show is where Dante brings a couple weird, interesting, philosophical, goofy, crazy, scary, random pieces from the zeitgeist, whatever's happening out there in culture land. And, we bring it to the podcast and try and be relevant. This is my attempt at being relevant.
So this kind of piggybacks on our last Dante's Inferno with the cosmetic surgeries. Because I
Okay.
find this just to be hilarious for some reason. Give me 1 second. Turn the speaker up.
All right.
So basically, this lady is just talking about her experience getting cosmetic surgery. Ooh, ooh.
You getting lazy, nigga. You bringing
No,
this shit again?
It's 2 tabs coming in.
Pissed.
30 minutes until.
The reality of getting your lip filler when you have small lips to begin with.
I'm so excited. I'm a little nervous. But I'm so excited.
Who is this for?
She's the one getting lip fillers.
She's obviously the reality of getting lip filler when you have small lips to begin with.
They're done.
That's really funny. Nothing happened.
I just paid $350.
Yo, I'm so happy. I'm so
I
happy.
look the fucking same.
What'd you think? You were gonna like be a black woman or something? I don't understand. What do people
That's
think?
one word I could cry.
What do people think is happening? So that was just, you know,
Yeah, these people.
thin bird lip white lady,
Yeah.
who wasn't thin herself, but she was thin lips, thin
Yes.
bird lips.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I'm just digging a hole, bro. She was all excited because she was getting lip filler.
For
And then
$350.
I like that part. I like that someone hustled her out of $350. I kind of do, bro, because there needs to be some sort of karmic balance for goofy thinking like this. Oh my god, I'm so excited. My lips, I have thin lips, so I'm excited to have big lips. What do you mean, bro? How about you love yourself?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's ultimately. And this is like I don't have TikTok, so I don't know. Like, I can't go into her shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, who is this for? Is she blasting out to millions of people, or?
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing with TikTok, and I think this is part of one of the issues because when people like post to TikTok, it's just like, "Hey, TikTok," it's
Yeah.
like a general type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, she's like, "Hey, like, I'm so excited to get lip filler," and then this is the end result.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't want. It's just sadness, bro. To me, it's just all this all stems from lack of self-love, as whack and lame as that sounds, bro. Like, you don't even you should have self-love. You don't have to call it self-love. But you should just like accept yourself, and you're good. Everybody's like great as you are, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it all comes from within, there's no external source that can like make or break you other than you. Mentally, physically, emotionally. And like, you know, we all battle things like mentally and like physiologically and shit, you know what I mean? Chemical imbalances and all this stuff is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not no doctor, no psychiatrist, none of that. I just know that I've had a really hard existence, but somehow my smile is beaming, you know? So something worked for me.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that, which worked for me. And that was just to look in the mirror and be brutally honest with myself and face the sadness initially so that it didn't continue to pile up and turn into baggage, which would eventually turn into a midlife crisis, which would eventually or potentially lead to a bunch of horrible and awful, irreversible things, man. Like, so I'm just grateful for that, bro. My hardships did not take me under. And, you know, as hard as life may seem, bro, we're all going through this shit. And it's no one asked for it. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's not hard, man. It's all a matter of perspective. And I know that that's very general. I know that there's obviously a lot of really awful experiences to be had in this world. And like, it's not easy to get over shit. That's where like community or like self-love, man.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. For me, it came through isolation, and I think that's the only way it really does work. Just got to isolate yourself, learn to love yourself and respect yourself first and foremost, and learn to not give a fuck about that external. And then once you have like a good base, then kind of reintroduce yourself into the wild. I think. Again, I'm not nothing. This is just a comedy podcast. That was great. I like that. That went into something really really nice.
Yeah.
Now let's fuck it up with USC. Yeah, testosterone, bitch. It's hot. It's getting hot in the studio. We've been here for a minute. I could tell. But yeah, if you're not into fight talk or any of that shit, this is not the part of the podcast for you. And I will say, I love you. Peace, peace. If you are down for some UFC preview, we got a fight being broadcast from Canada, live from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It's UFC 289 preview, Nunes versus Aldana. So Nunes is back in, she's the lower weight class, no?
This is 135, yeah.
She went back down. Okay. So we'll do a quick little preview. Let's just do the main card.
Okay.
I never really care about previewing the other stuff, although I'll watch it. You've gotten me more interested in watching the undercard now.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of good fights are in the undercard.
Some of the most exciting
I'll watch
fights.
the prelims, but I won't watch like the prelims.
What's the difference?
I know you're not wrong. Time though, it's time commitment.
Okay.
It's a long time commitment.
That's fair.
Bro. It's a long time commitment.
That is, I will get from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Like, that's a pretty.
I got to get a nap in if I even want to try and make it through to the end of the fucking main event.
But yeah, so here's the main card.
Okay, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, you already.
My bad,
bruh,
my bad.
It's all good. I got excited. Man, once again, man, UFC putting on these main events where the co-main event is like way more exciting to me. But we'll get there in a minute. Let's preview the main event. The champion, the double champ, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. I don't know much about Aldana, to be honest. She's ranked number 5 in the bantamweight division. What's Dante's corner?
All right, so basically, off top, I'm picking Nunes. To be fair, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
But I will say, Irene, she, aside from Amanda Nunes in 135, I would say like she's probably been like one of my favorite fighters to watch.
Does she have a chance?
She has
I mean, every fighter has a chance,
but she has a puncher's chance because she has really good boxing. Right?
Okay.
She's from Mexico, has got that, forward pressing style, boxing style.
You notice like Dana's really pushing Mexico right now, eh?
Well, there's Mexican champions.
Oh, I love it. I'm not upset. I'm just
yeah.
saying like he's like anybody who Mexican right now, if you're a fighter, bro, it's your time to shine. Get over there and win yourself a title because
we need more Jamaican titles too, you know what I'm saying?
bruh.
Regardless.
So we had that moment with Africa, but they didn't go to Africa. I know he's trying to, but I don't know. Well, I mean, we still have Izzy,
Yep.
But yeah, so you're going Amanda Nunes off top.
Yeah.
What round and how?
Okay.
This is bonus picks.
Bonus picks. I'm honestly, this could end first round submission.
Shit.
We'll see how Amanda comes out because I think her submission game will destroy Irene's anything.
But you think immediately she goes just to take her down? She's not playing games.
Why does she have to play games?
Well, because the last couple fights, I don't know. She's been
playing games.
Exactly. So is she in that frame of mind, or is she coming to like be like, "Hey, I'm Amanda Nunes.
I think she's.
I'm Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm from Brazil.
I'm from Brazil.
But
Brazil. I shouldn't do this because she will whoop my ass.
Yeah. But I can also see her knocking her out as well.
Okay.
So I can see that happening early in the fight.
All right.
But if it goes later on and Irene keeps her boxing crisp and doesn't get knocked out,
yeah,
4th and 5th round, her striking might still be clean enough to where she can get like a knockout later on or like a TKO.
Okay.
Because we have seen Amanda tire and slow down as the fight progresses. So.
All right. That was good analysis. Thank you, Dante. Yeah. Let's preview the co-main event. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the co-main event of the evening. Fighting out of Brazil. I don't know what color corner he is, but
red corner.
Bruh. Charles Oliveira versus Benil Dariush. Did I say his name right?
Yep.
Benil?
Dariush, yep.
There it is. I know it's Dariush, but
Mhm.
I always F up his first name. You said Irene. That made me.
Irene.
I don't know.
They pronounce it something.
I know.
I don't know.
I'm
to
not
be honest.
Mexican, so you got to give me some slack here. But holy shit, bro! Dariush has been on a tear.
Yes.
Oliveira is an absolute gorilla. I don't care that like he's had a couple, scuffs on the resume.
As of after having become the champion, those scuffs don't count. You know what I mean? Like,
He's a champ.
yeah, he
And he lost to, and the guy he lost to, like
he lost to Islam.
Everybody's gonna lose to him for a while.
Yes,
Even
Volk.
even who?
Volk. Like even Volk lost.
Yeah,
Volk is
like,
still ranked.
and Volk gave him a run for his money,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
He came, damn, bro. He came down to the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally want to say Oliveira. Oliveira's ranked number 1,
Yeah.
but he's not champ.
No, but he's the number 1 contender.
Oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, champ is not ranked. You're just that you are the guy.
Yeah, it's champ.
Fair enough.
And then it's
Look at
interim
me.
champ, and then it's number 1 contender.
Is there an interim champ in the lightweight?
I don't know. I'm not off the top of my head. Probably 145. No, it's Islam. What are we talking about? There's no interim. It's just
So
Islam.
yeah, fair. Yeah, okay.
Or is Chandler fighting 155? Or that's 170, regardless.
Oh, they just started
The show.
Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, you think we actually see that fight?
Yes,
Chandler versus McGregor. All right,
I think so.
that'll be fun, but will it?
It'll make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I asked. That's a given. That's a given. All right, we got. Damn, bro, I don't know with this one.
This one's hard.
It's hard for me to not say Oliveira.
Yep.
But I've seen more of him. But what I've seen of Dariush, like this guy always impresses me. I don't know. You would know better. Let's go to Dante's corner.
So this one's super hard because me personally, the way I look at it, I see Oliveira as like a more refined Dariush, right? So like I think his striking is probably cleaner and his jiu-jitsu is probably cleaner.
But his eyesight.
Yeah, it's not as good. So,
But
maybe
somehow-
I give it to Benil off eyesight, but
Somehow he's able to win all those fights.
well, the thing is, when you're doing jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
you don't need your eyes because you're feeling.
That's really funny how you said that. Like, I just love how you don't need your eyes.
You
said
don't.
You said it so cash. Like,
Well, the people that do jiu-jitsu know what I'm talking about. Like one time I was doing it, I was so tired, dude. I couldn't even open my eyes. I'm just like, let me just feel around it, But I'm sure when people are so good, they don't need to use their eyes because they can just feel everything. You know what I mean? So even in striking with Charles' striking because he does the Muay Thai and it's real close and he grabs you behind the neck and hitting you you don't really need to see like he can see like figures and it's blurry, but it's like you can feel like okay if his head's here, I throw my elbow this way, I'm hitting something at least.
I'm hitting something. So who's winning?
This one's hard. Okay, this is what I'll say.
Don't go long.
I won't go long. I won't die.
I'm like I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm like this guy just. I'm like I really want to get out of here soon.
So this is what I'll make this really quick. I'm a little bit biased only because I think Charles Oliveira like almost jumped the line, even though he didn't really because he fought who he needed to fight to win.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to see Benil get a title fight before Charles even did. You know
interesting.
Because dude, Benil, he's been around for time. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys that like a lot of people don't know, but he's been like he fought Edson Barbosa and like all these guys. You know what I mean? Like
holy shit.
Yeah, but he lost Edson. But regardless, I've been wanting.
But he was around to fight Barbosa.
Yeah, and so
yo, look at Oliveira's tats, bro. That's wild. This guy's got a series of like portraits across his entire chest. Like from right shoulder almost stretching. I'm sure he's got one more planned for his left shoulder blade there. That's so crazy. Let's just like scroll down real quick.
All right, let's scroll down.
I'd like any of these guys stand out to you? Scroll down.
Okay, so I'll say I'm picking Dariush only because I want him to win, and if he's the underdog, he's a good underdog to bet on. Even because him and Charles are so similar. You know what I mean? Like they're almost kind of the same style, but
Huh.
Charles is a little bit more refined. But if Beneil's the underdog, you might make some good money betting on him. But I also think that Charles is also more likely to
You
win.
notice the odds aren't there.
Yeah, because it's too close to call it. Like it's too close of a fight. You know what I mean? Like we kind of know Amanda Nunes is most likely going to win on this one, but Beneil and Charles is like who knows, you know?
Wow, look, they're afraid to put the odds
Yes.
out. Like,
They're saving that till like next week, Saturday.
what a bunch of assholes, bro. Let me make some money.
Mike Malott, Canada boy, picking him.
Okay.
Dan Ige, Nate Landwehr, going Dan Ige. Marc Andre Barrio versus Eric Anders. I'm going Marc Andre Barrio.
Hey, there's some Canada boys on this card.
Yeah, well, it's in Canada, so you gotta throw the squad.
I forgot that entirely. I forgot that entirely.
Ooh, can we just talk about this one real quick, please? This is a banger alert on the prelims.
All right, real quick.
Khalil Roundtree Jr. versus Chris Dawkins.
Oh, Roundtree.
That's what I'm saying. Banger alert. Ring the bells.
This is
banger
how they
alert.
get people to watch the early prelims.
Yeah.
They have to put at least one.
Bro, even Chris Curtis, he's a good guy too. But yeah,
He looks familiar, but I know Roundtree. I've seen him fight a few times.
dude stomped the guy's knee out. Like mid-fight, just curb stomped the knee. I like that.
Ugh.
I know.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Black Zeus, the podcast, season 4, episode 17, knee stomp. No, I'm definitely not naming it knee stomp. That's wild. That's wild. But thank you, beautiful people, for being here. We are here as always every Wednesday. Poll results. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the end of the episode where I keep fucking shit up. Poll questions every Monday on my Instagram social media feed, aka Black Zeus. The shit scrolls at the bottom of the screen every couple minutes. Dante, where can the people find you?
You can find me at person1prod, PERSON, the number 1 PROD on Instagram.
Dope. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we are. We'll be back next week, yo. It's starting to get hot. The edibles wore off. What a strong start to an episode to just trail. But I love y'all. Thank you for being here. And hopefully we'll see you once again. Peace, peace.